Hey guys, it's Go Ready with Lakeview Medium and Tarot. I'm actually doing a bit of a video response video to the Tiger's Abyss. He posted a tarot tag video, and it's hashtag deck collector 15. And it is 15 questions, obviously. Yeah, I will try to remember to post the link to the video down below. But as you guys know, I am notorious for not getting around to it. But I will definitely put, like the Tarot Abyss name and the hashtag down below. So if I don't get to a chance to link the video, at least you'll have the tarot tag and the name of his channel. So question number 1. How did you first start collecting decks? As I've mentioned in previous videos, my mom gifted me my first tarot and oracle deck when I was about 15. Excuse me, and they were the only 2 decks that I used for quite a long time. And then I'm trying to remember what was the deck that kind of opened up my collection addiction. I think it was a fairy deck, I think. Wisdom of the Wild. What is it? Wisdom of the Wild Fairy. I'm so naming it wrong. I think it's a Lana Fairchild deck, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, it was a fairy deck. I've always been a part of the fairy world since I was a little girl, so it had to do with fairies. I'm pretty sure it did, and it hasn't stopped since then. Yeah, so that's how I started. Don't have a great story, but meh. Question number 2. How many decks are in your collection? I'm a deck collector, but I'm not one of those that will just buy decks because I want to add them to my collection. I have to have a connection to the deck because I use all my decks. So I'm going to say I have maybe 35 or 40. I might have a whole lot more than I'm actually saying, but still. I'm going to say close to 40. Yeah, I'm going to say close to 40. Probably have about 20 tarot and 20 oracle. And then 3 or 4 Lenormand. Okay, so maybe close to 50. Yeah. So that's how many. Question number 3. How do you add decks to your collection? Do you trade, buy, receive them as gifts, or a mix of all of the above? I'm a mix. I will purchase my own. I get gifted a lot. My husband is notorious for feeding my addiction a little bit. He buys them for Christmas and for my birthday or just because. So it's nice. I think I've only done 1 trade so far, and I don't know how to kind of feel about it, and only because it's difficult, because a lot of the trading Facebook pages that I am a member of, they usually don't trade to Canada, so that'll be like US only or UK only, and obviously only because postage. But so I'm not saying that I'm against it. It's just harder for me being up in Canada, and not a whole lot of people wanting to. It's understandable, obviously, but I've only done 1 so far, and that was one of the last ones tarot deck that I got, and that was the World Spirit of. I always get it wrong. World of Spirit Tarot, I think it's called. World Spirit. It's an out of print one. I just can't remember what it's called properly. Spirit World? Spirit of Work? No. Anyways, moving on. So yeah, Question number 4. Do you buy only one type of system or all of them? If it's only tarot, do you buy just Rider-Waite, Thoth, Marseille, or all? I use all systems, so I use Tarot, Oracle, and Lenormand. In regards to tarot, mostly are just Rider-Waite based. I haven't really gotten into Thoth or Marseille yet, but I do want to purchase at least one of each, just so I have them in my collection and I can learn. I'm always I'm always wanting to learn. In Lenormand, I have a couple decks, and believe it or not, they're all by Jeri Totten. I love her to death, and I love her work. I also have her tarot deck, and I know she's coming out with a second tarot deck. So Jeri Totten, I will try to remember. I'm going to make a note so I don't forget to add at least her name down below if I don't remember to add the link to her website. So it's Jeri Totten Designs, but I will write it down below. So yeah, those are I have her Lenormands and one of her tarot decks. Anyways, yeah, so that's question number 4. Question number 5, do you use the decks you collect, or are they for novelty purposes only? If you use all of them, how? I use all my decks. I am a collector, but like I said on the first question, I use my deck, or the second question, whatever question it is. No, it was the second question. I use all my decks. I don't think I have a single deck that I do not use. How I use them, I'm assuming it's how we choose, maybe. I will just before. Thank you. You took off your socks. Thanks. I will, before my client, I read for a client, I usually sit with the energies surrounding that client and pick intuitively what decks I use. I don't have a deck that gets used for specific reasons, so I don't have a tarot deck for love readings. I don't have a tarot deck for, finances or anything like that. It's just all intuitive. And that goes for my Oracle as well as my Lenormand. Yeah. Excuse me. Question number 6. Do you collect by theme? Historical, indie, fairy, angel, pagan, dark, light. Yes and no. I don't specifically kind of go out and purchase a tarot deck because I have to have fairy decks everywhere. Yes, sweetie. I'll give it to you in a second. But I do have a bunch. I don't know if I have any historical ones. I do have fairy. I used to have angel decks, but now my daughters use the angel decks. Fairy, yes. Pagan, yes. Light, yes. I'm trying to find more darker themed decks that I'm drawn to. I think at the moment my only real dark theme that I have themed deck that I have is the Terror of the Vampires by Ian Daniels. But yeah, so do I collect by theme? Yes and no. Question number 7. What turns you off from a deck? Art style, card size and shape, card stock, prices, ethical reasons. For me, I think really maybe 2 factors. The first one for sure is the art style. I'm not a fan of the realism tarot, so it's like pictures of people. So I have a hard time with decks like Tarot of the Illuminati, because they're people. I still read that. I still read with those decks, but it's not my. I don't know. It's those types of imagery where it's photo and then they kind of manipulate the image, but the person still stays. What's that other one that I have? I'm trying to. Thelema. I'm so butchering that. Deck as well is photorealism. So the photos are there, and then they kind of manipulate the surroundings a bit to soften the image, I guess. For me, yeah, that type of art style doesn't, you know, on the imagery for the deck doesn't really kind of do it for me. And obviously, price, I know it's horrible, but it's hard. That's why I have so many on my wish list because of that. Because pricing is always a factor for me. It's not that I don't. It doesn't turn me off, I guess you can say. It doesn't really turn me off so much as I wish. If I want them now, I can't afford them now, and it drives me bonkers. But yeah, art style, I think, for me would be really the only deciding factor, really. You either like it or you don't, right? So, yeah. Question number 8. What decks can you not seem to get rid of or refuse to leave your collection? I don't think I really have any because I'm always drawn to... Actually, no, I'm lying. There is one deck. There is one deck, and it's one of those that the Tiger's Abyss actually kind of mentions it too in his video, is that you kind of want to trade it or sell it, but at the same time you kind of don't, because you got it originally for a reason. And I do have one, and it's an oracle deck, and it's the chakra oracle. Am I right? I can't remember what it's called, and I don't obviously I don't have them down here. But yeah, I think that's like the only one I have on my, as part of my collection, that's like one of those hit and misses. I want to get rid of it, but at the same time I don't. Yeah. Question number 9. What decks have been on your wish list for the longest time, but you've just never bought? That kind of goes back to question number 7 in regards to price. The one that's at the very top of my list is the Journey into Egypt. That one I've wanted since the day it came out, but it's $100. It's $100, and so it's a hard decision to make. I know she's got a few copies still left of it, and I'm trying to slowly put aside some resources for tarot purposes, and I'm hoping for that one. Yeah. That's really kind of like the only one that's on my wish list that I'm aching for, like one of those that I'm just like, I see the images and I just start shaking because I have such a huge connection with Egypt and ancient Egypt and all that jazz. So yes, so that is the one that's on my list, probably for the longest. Most likely it has to be the longest. Question number 10. Do you modify your decks? Why and how? I modify my decks, yes, and it's dependent on the deck. So for me, I will only modify them if, for example, there's too much of a border, and I can trim it, and it won't affect too much the backing or the card in itself. I will ink the sides. I'll trim the sides, depending maybe, with markers and stuff. But I don't do it to all of my decks. Some decks speak to me saying, change me, make me your own type thing. And I will do that. I don't think I have anything down here that I've altered. No. Sorry, I was thinking. Yeah. And they really do. They really speak to me saying, make me your own type thing. Because I still have quite a few decks that I could alter, that have a bit of a border, but they don't speak to be changed. So I leave them. I know it probably doesn't make sense, but they speak to me, my cards. Question number 11. How do you store and organize your decks? Do you keep them in their original packaging? In the beginning, I would just bag my decks, and I kind of regret it now because I started keeping them in their original boxes. I don't have anything down here. Oh, I have the Legend of the Arthurian, but it's too far away. I will keep them inside their boxes because I keep them up on my bookshelf, or on a shelf, I should say, above my altar. But some decks I still put them inside little bags that go inside the bigger boxes. But yeah, no, I try to hold on to the original boxing if there's some really decent boxes, especially. I really can't reach any of them. Hold on, maybe I can. Oh. So I have, let me fix this around again. Sorry. So the Witch's Tarot, for example, they have to be really decent boxes for me to kind of keep because they have the bigger books, right? And the bigger books fit perfectly into these boxes. So yeah, I mean, I try to now to keep them all in their boxes, if that makes sense. Yeah, so question number 12. What decks do you see everyone loving and raving about that just doesn't appeal to you? I've got quite a few. No, I don't. I only have really kind of like 2 or 3 that I just don't understand. Such hoopla. So the first one that I just don't understand why everybody falls in love with it is The Wild Unknown. Since the first edition, I just don't get it. At least not yet, obviously, right? I might in the future fall in love with it and it'd be my only deck that I will ever use for the rest of my life. But at the moment, it's The Wild Unknown and the Mary L. Don't get me wrong, the Mary L has some gorgeous images, okay, in some of their cards, but I just don't get it. I really don't. Those are probably the only 2 I can really think of at the top of my head at the moment. That is, yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see it, and I want to see it. And every now and then I kind of go back to some of the YouTube videos that do walkthroughs of both The Wild Unknown. Yes, Lovey? Sorry, my little niece. Auntie! She's so cute. Yeah, and I still go, but like I was saying, I still go back and see those videos to see if I'm waiting for the day where it goes, I can't live without that deck. So far it hasn't happened, but maybe one day. I'm hoping. The Mary L is on my wish list. Okay, that's what I'm saying. The Mary L is on my wish list because I want to buy it, but I just don't connect with it. And until I realize that I do connect with it, it's going to stay on my wish list. It's just there. Question number 13. What decks or decks are you waiting for in the mail? If none, what is the next deck you are going to buy? I am waiting for 2 decks that are well, they're not mailed out yet, but they're coming. The first one is the Beautiful Creatures 2nd edition that was re-released. I'm expecting that one. And I was able to purchase a Druid Plant Oracle just before it kind of disappeared. And I'm waiting for that one as well. I know it's apparently being re-released. If anybody is interested in that one, it's being re-released. I just don't know when. I think in June. I think it's in June. I could be so wrong, but still. And so those are 2 decks I'm currently waiting for. In regards to what is the next deck I'm going to buy? I want them all, so that's all I'm going to say. Question number 14. Who is your favorite deck creator? They must have created 2 or more decks. You know what? I don't really have a specific artist / creator. because they're each in their own. I mean, you have Will Worthington, who does amazing work. You've got Alana Fairchild. You've got, like, there's so many that are just stunning, and that is why I have the collection that I have, and that is why a lot of you guys have the collections that you guys have, is because we're drawn to those people. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a favorite. I love them all. They're all just stunning. They're beautiful. They're beautiful people. Question number 15, which is the last question. What deck or decks need to be created to add to your collection? Are there any coming out that has you saying, finally? I don't know. Excuse me. There's so many decks that are to be pre-ordered right now that I haven't had the time to kind of go through and see what is coming out, to see if anything's kind of, drawing my attention. I don't know. What decks need to be created to add to your collection? I don't know. I seriously don't even know how to answer that question, because I don't even know what I want in a tarot deck. If I were to ever create a tarot deck, I know that in a previous tarot tag we did, if we were to create our own tarot deck, what would it kind of contribute? And myself and Lisa from Tarot Alchemist both agreed we'd want to see something very ancestral in a way, spirit based. It's hard to describe on how I see it. But yeah, that's what I'm going to leave it as, because I don't know how to really answer that question, because I don't know what I want. And I need to see what's out there, what's kind of being released or for pre-ordered and stuff, to see if there's anything out there that kind of speaks to me. But yeah, so that was question 15 from the Tiger's Eye tarot tag of hashtag Deck Collector 15. And I thought I was going to do this short, but it's still 22 minutes. Damn it. Yeah, so I will try to remember later when I go upstairs to add the link, not only to the Tiger's Abyss channel, but to Jeri Totten as well, if you guys are interested in some indie-styled, self-published decks. She's an amazing artist. I love her stuff. So yeah, so that's it for me for now. Bye, guys. We'll see you later.